guys knew that logistically, Seattle, Washington is in a perfect place for a new franchise for the National Hockey League.
Well, yeah, I agree.
And you guys all know that Seattle's very rich. Per capita, it is one of the richest cities in the great United States of America.
Well, they've got a great guy in Todd Lewicki that put everything together and is putting things together. I'll tell you what, I worked with Todd here in Tampa for, 4 or 5 years, and there was no better guy I ever saw that goes out in the public and talks to the people and meets with people and gets involved in the community. And Seattle has been a love of his. He's been there for a lot of years in the NFL and with the soccer in Seattle. And Mr. Vinnick just made him an offer he couldn't refuse to come here. But his dream was always to try to get an NHL franchise in the Seattle area.
And the fact remains that he's much more competent than his brother, and his brother is not that bad. But Todd Lewicki, the late Pat Quinn used to say there's no comparison in the two brothers.
Did he work at all with Toronto for a brief time?
Pardon?
Did Mr. Lewicki work in Toronto for a brief time?
No, that's the younger brother of the Lewicki that worked in Toronto.
Okay, I apologize.
Other Frank.
So I think that Seattle will be very successful. They're a great sports town. Like I said, it is the birthplace of Starbucks. It's the birthplace of Microsoft. It is very, very rich.
And Bill Gates hangs his bank account there too.
But it's Seattle is I love Seattle. I hate the weather. It's very rainy all the time and very damp. But I love Seattle. And from Seattle to Vancouver you're there.
And Frank, I must tell you something. The Lewicki that worked in Toronto is the guy that got the franchise together. So he's a big part of the new Seattle franchise, and his brother was hired by them. I don't know if they both are participating in it from a financial standpoint, but they're both there in one capacity or the other.
I didn't know that, Billy.
Yeah. I forget the guy's name that was in Toronto, his first name, but he put the Seattle package together.
But I want to. This is another thing I heard, and you guys can tell me if it's wrong information or good information. Gary Bettman wanted a franchise in there for a while.
Absolutely, Frank.
And again, Seattle will be the connector for LA, San Jose, Anaheim, Vegas, Vancouver, right?
But more importantly, Frank, when you go out to Calgary, you play Edmonton, you drive the bus up. When you go to Vancouver, you play Vancouver and Seattle, you drive the bus down. You can play 4 games and minimize your airfare, minimize your time in the air, minimize, going anywhere. You've made your travel plans more efficient by having Seattle there. And then if you want to play the 3 cities in California, down you go. But that's not going to be deterrent. They're going to move Arizona to the Central Division, and they'll have the Pacific Division with San Jose, L.A., Anaheim, and I'm trying to think of the other, because there's 4 in Canada, 3 in Canada, Edmonton, Calgary, and Vancouver, and then you put Seattle for 4th, San Jose 5, L.A. 6, Anaheim 7. There's one more. Oh, I know, Vegas. Vegas is the last one.
Vegas is the other one, yeah.
That's right.
You forgot.
So you've got the Pacific Division is going to be pretty strong.
It's going to be strong, and it's very strong in populace. It's very strong. California is the largest state in the United States. And you're going to have some great rivalry. And here's my question. I've been to Seattle a few times. Is there an existing facility they're going to use and revamp it, or they're building something brand new?
No, they're revamping, Frank, the Key Center, whatever it was, where the basketball team was. They're remodeling that, and that's why they're not getting their franchise till 2020 and 21.
Yeah.
Because they got a lot of work to
22, don't they?
I don't know, Phil. I don't know whether they start. They may start in 21-22. Yeah, that's what
I think so.
That's the earliest.
Yeah. Well, hey, listen, it's they got 32 teams now. Everything is even. Now I'm going to tell you, this is when Gary Bettman probably might think about reconsider relocating a couple of teams that are struggling.